Do you remember when Visa cards first came out? You were used to paying with cash or with a check, and then a Visa came out. It was this weird payment system that you didn't understand. And she said, yeah, I remember that. Well, Bitcoin is just the next evolution of another payment system.
Brace yourself, Nakamoto was the foundation. What up, guys? It's your boy Nakamoto Crypto here, and today we got Satoshi Nakamoto's next level strategy will propel Bitcoin beyond the price of $200,000 US, says Preston Pysh. Market analyst and producer Preston Pysh says the anonymous Bitcoin Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto built a nearly priceless marketing future straight into the top cryptocurrency. In a new interview on the What Bitcoin Did podcast, Pysh says that Nakamoto's coding and economic genius is centered on BTC's limited supply of 21 million coins, and the fact that each BTC can be divided into 100 million smaller units known as Satoshis. He says, quote unquote, I think that you are definitely dealing with some sort of savant, another word, a connoisseur, but on a level that is not just in one field of study. It's pretty much in like all fields of study, which makes you kind of think, well, they have had to have been more than one person that created Bitcoin, because no one person could think possibly and have this much foresight and this much expertise in these many areas. Even from a branding and marketing standpoint, the fact that Satoshi only made it 21 million coins but had 10 to the negative eighth units to the right of the decimal, you could argue it's a 500 billion to a $1 trillion marketing strategy, guys. With the amount of buzz that it creates when the price goes over $200,000 and it goes over 100,000 US. Can you imagine if you were going to put a price tag on the marketing that's going to create? In another word, Satoshi was a genius. Pysh thinks the countries struggling the hardest right now will be the first ones to see the value of Bitcoin. Conversely, he says the US will likely be one of the last countries to fully embrace Bitcoin due to the omnipresence of the almighty dollar. So cash circulating, US cash is preventing BTC from prevailing in the US. People still believe in the high and mighty dollar. Overall, the analyst believes that Bitcoin's price is about to take off, stating, quote unquote, I could picture in 2021, which is next year, that Times Magazine's top story of the year is one thing, and that is Bitcoin. Pysh also thinks that gold is going to perform well relative to the stock, bond, and commodity markets, but relative to Bitcoin, he says it will be a travesty. He goes on to say that if Bitcoin did not exist, I would probably be one of the biggest gold bugs in the world right now, and I would own gold miners. I would own all of that stuff, but Bitcoin does exist. Where I think gold is going to run into a problem is its slowness in transactions, pretty much. Throughout history, when you go through a currency crisis, it is all about how fast can you get into whatever the new cryptocurrency is. And right now, the new cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. Despite his optimism, Pysh says BTC does face a number of significant regulatory risks, including the possibility that various governments may try to ban and confiscate the top crypto assets, guys. These are the risks that we are facing. But for the last 11 years, we've been hearing all about this. Governments banning this such and such crypto, but they can't seem to be able to control Bitcoin. And this guy believes that it can hit $200,000 based on the structure of Bitcoin. And he believes not Satoshi might not have been one guy after all. So it was multiple guys, because the way he thought out the 21 million coins and the scarcity, it was so genius that he even divided the units into 100 million units, Satoshis, in order to get one Bitcoin. So all of that, according to this guy, is part of Satoshi's plan and strategy. So he had to have help at some point building this. Well, we know that he might have gotten help because he did mention geniuses such as Hal Finney, the guy who received the first transaction, and Gavin Anderson, and all of these guys that Satoshi has mentioned, the early geniuses. So maybe they were part of his team, part of the dudes who inspired him. Maybe he gave him some tips. Well, $200,000 per Bitcoin alone would be amazing and life-changing for a lot of people. The technology would have grown bigger, and according to this article, Bitcoin was built to sustain a $500 billion market cap to a $1 trillion market cap. So that is the strategy. Next, we got another analyst who says that Bitcoin breakout right now is imminent. Silver-like suppression, $5 trillion in cash could flow into BTC right now. Based on world events, a number of venture capitalists and macro investors believe that Bitcoin's price will break out soon, following suit with gold's recent rise. Dan Tapiro, that's his name, co-founder of Gold Bullion International, thinks that $4.6 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines right now could very well flow into precious metals and crypto asset markets. Moreover, other investors have noted that Bitcoin is following the same trend silver did 12 years ago, guys. Close to a $5 trillion market money accounts could flow into the Bitcoin markets. Everyone has been watching digital currency markets rough the storm caused by number 19 outbreak that we just survived and got out of. The whole world went into lockdown, and governments, including businesses, shut down. At press time, the entire market valuation of all 5,000 plus digital assets is still well over $250 billion. Just recently, the co-founder of Gold Bullion International, Dan Tapiro, discussed a study published by the research firm Refinitiv Lipper. According to the study, there is close to $5 trillion in money, market accounts otherwise known as liquid cash. Now, Tapiro thinks that cash flow, which is at an all-time high, could easily flow into the gold and Bitcoin markets. Traditionally, when stocks, equities, and common commodities are plummeting, the liquid cash in money market flows into safe havens. Tapiro tweeted this on Wednesday. So this is sideline cash sitting. Institutional investors are holding this right now, ready to invest it in precious metals such as silver and crypto assets such as Bitcoin. So Tapero has been talking about Bitcoin and gold for quite some time now, and he can be seen blustering the subject in many videos. In a number of others also agreed with Tapero's statement on Twitter, as one person said, if the dollar does crash at some point, it only makes sense that people will start exploring alternative and more superior forms of money and stores of value. People are after stores of value, guys. And what better store of value than Bitcoin that you have right now in this generational wealth? So he said, much like silver was in 2008, all the way until the price of silver spiked in 2012. And BTC is lining up with silver right now. So what silver was in 2008, that is what BTC is right now. So if this follows the same diagram pretty much, you're looking at 2 to 4 years from now, we will see a Bitcoin price explosion, according to this guy. Years ago, you never had institutional analysts like this guy. Bitcoin is all over the news now. It's all over the stock markets, gold, bonds, mutual funds. Crypto is presented in front of the whole wide world every single day. People are Googling this. People are studying about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Again, the crypto revolution will not be televised, but it will be live. Next up, we got a judge orders Mark Karpeles to face fraud suit from 2014. A U.S. district judge has dismissed the summary judgment request from the former Mt Gox CEO in a lawsuit from 2014, accusing Mark Karpeles of a fraudulent misrepresentation. So a judge has ruled that the chief executive of the defunct exchange Mt Gox, Mr. Mark Karpeles, that he must face a lawsuit alleging filed back in 2014. Mt Gox collapsed, and this is one of the guys who had lost 42.9 Bitcoin right then, and the value of that today is about $400,000. That's almost $500,000, guys. A lot of people have lost money in Mt. Gox. So that should teach you a lesson right now. Move your money out of these exchanges. Hold your wallets, hold your keys. Be in control of your own wealth. Because another Mt. Gox, there have been several Mt. Goxes that has happened right after 2014. The latest one was Cryptopia, as latest as 2018. That exchange got hacked, and now it is being liquidated. A lot of people have lost their money, and I don't think that they will get it back. So again, be safe. Move your coins out of these exchanges. Do not trust any exchange to leave your coin over there just for it to wake up one day and then disappears. And on that note, if you like the content, guys, please leave a like, share, subscribe. More daily crypto bangers. I've been your boy Nakamoto Crypto, and I'm out.
Bitcoin under $8,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin under $5,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin over $10,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin is over $20,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin under $8,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin under $5,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin is over $10,000.
Buy it.
Bitcoin is over $20,000.
Buy it.
Best performing asset in the last 10 years. True. Look into crypto, we need volunteers. No need to tiptoe, it won't disappear. Do your research, history made it clear.